have no emotional state in panda fucking.
Fuck are you, dolphin?
And fuck are you, whale?
I have an idea of PS4. Buy the fucking catalog from Jaguar.
So, have you heard the news?
No, we have not heard the news. About what?
Favorite show of ours is getting the big, ugly axe this year.
Like canceled or is it done?
Canceled.
No, it's not being canceled.
It's being canceled. Boardwalk Empire.
It's finishing.
Thanks for fucking me up.
Well, if a story has a progression and it ends, it's ending. It's not canceled.
Well, technically, HBO kind of did pull the plug on it, and then we came to a natural progression between the network and the creator. You know, it said, okay, you know what? This is it. We're entering the home stretch, so therefore it does count as a quote-unquote cancellation. Plus also the fact that Terrence Renner is getting a lot of Oscar buzz for writing the screenplay to Wolf of Wall Street.
That's right, yeah.
So there's also that. And you know what? Maybe I'm a little crestfallen about it. We'll have to see how this final episodes carry out, but I'm bummed.
Well, that's good.
I hope so anyway.
I mean, I just hope they don't do that whole 8-episode thing. That's just so annoying.
Into 2 seasons?
No, HBO won't do that.
HBO shouldn't do that. I don't think they will.
All right, well, that's cool, man. That's very disappointing. I mean, I thought it was getting better, and that's kind of hard to say, but
how much... I like Boardwalk, too.
Yeah,
I just haven't caught up. Mm-hmm. But how much more are you going to see Nucky being a fucking badass? It needs to end at some point.
Yeah,
if it finally gets to Al Capone being who he is, then you're done.
That's why I say about 2 more seasons I think they could have done.
I think it ended at a 6th, which means I think we're going to miss out. I don't think we're going to get all the sweet spots we should with this being the last season. I don't think we're going to get Capone's Valentine's Day Massacre.
I think you will.
Yeah, that's
you think so?
Kind of something I think you have to get.
I think they'll definitely get to that. Well, it depends because Boardwalk, the characters were real characters.
Yes.
So it depends on the timeline of Nuck. If Nucky died before the Valentine's Massacre, well, then you probably won't get it. But I think if it's finally at its natural progression, then fine, go for it. If it's just a weird cancellation, then he sucks.
Well, I guess on the brighter side, Walking Dead is still good.
Yeah,
coming around.
It's coming back in a few
Game
weeks.
of Thrones is coming back. You
April
mentioned
6th.
House of Cards season 2.
Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to that more than anything right now.
That's the next show I'm going to catch up on. We'll talk about it later, but I'm finally caught up with Walking Dead as well. So there's a couple things I wanted to kind of hit with that. I'm pretty happy about it.
I think I'm looking forward to Arrow. Arrow's coming back soon. Sons, that's way later in the year.
That's in September.
I think that Walking Dead, and that's probably about Game of Thrones as well. I've been listening to music lately. I just been hooked on fucking... I don't know why. I was listening to Stern, and he brought up Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And I've always heard the name, but I never really knew their music. So I finally, actually Spotify, because I love the service, I finally listened. I put Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and I heard their songs. I'm like, oh shit, I like these guys. So I've been kind of hooked on them for the last couple days. But that's why I love Stern. He's always good with his music picks. At least I found.
Yeah.
So I just love figuring out. Oh shit! I like these guys. Let me listen to them.
Such rich music.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah. I used to love, but what it kind of annoys me now is when he sings along with the songs. Like it was like hilarious before, but now that he actually has some like songs that he wrote for Jewel. What is that one song he has? Something
Silver
buttons,
nickels and golden dimes.
So when he sings along with his songs, he's actually like tell he has some kind of vocal training now because now he's actually like
he
in
knows how to
tone.
use his
Yeah,
voice
now he does. Yeah, that's for sure.
Other than that, that's all I've been up to.
Yeah. Ray?
Me? Oh man, just a whole lot of jacking off. Wow, like a ridiculous amount.
Tell us more.
No, but
or don't.
I heard you say that you looked on Spotify. Now, would you recommend Spotify?
You know what I found Spotify to be best for? Is if like somebody does bring an artist up and you want to get familiar with their catalog,
Yeah.
I found Spotify's really good for that.
Okay.
There's been so many artists that I've caught up on just because of Spotify that I love. That's what I use Spotify for. But other than that, I mean, if you just want just random music, I'd say Pandora's probably a better bet. But
Okay.
catching up on catalogs is real good.
Yeah, that'll work. I prefer Spotify over Pandora.
Yeah, same here. I love Spotify. It's a good service.
Right, because Pandora is more like to find other artists that sound like the artist, right?
Yeah,
and
kind of,
Spotify is more directly like you can pick
There you
all
go.
their songs.
The option's there to
Yeah.
do the Pandora thing. I think Pandora does that better.
Oh, okay.
But Spotify's basically, if you want to know more about an artist, your chances are you're going to get their catalog. So that's pretty much it for the week.
finished The Walking Dead or caught up with Walking Dead.
Caught up with Walking Dead.
That's all that's new with me. Recently, Shia Labeouf has been getting in some trouble for plagiarizing.
Yeah, and now he claims he's done with public life. I don't buy it for a second.
Thank God. Wait, now if he's done with public life, is he done with like being in movies?
I can only hope so.
Plagiarized what?
He did a self-published indie comic, which is pretty much the dialogue was ripped directly from another indie comic.
Daniel Claus.
From the guy who made Ghost World. So it's like an underground comic. And then he made a movie where it just said written and directed by Shia LaBeouf.
Well, and that's so underground because that artist is a fucking Eisner winning.
But it's to say it wasn't big enough where somebody caught it right away.
Yeah,
like
it is a big artist.
A while, right?
Yeah.
And then he ripped off some dialogue for some movie, an independent movie that he made, which was exactly from this comic book. And then he apologized.
He wrote an apology. He hired a skywriter to skywrite the apology.
No way.
The problem is he did it over the wrong house.
When you're skywriting, you don't have to exactly do it right over the house. You kind of see it.
Yeah, but it's still tone deaf.
Unless there's strong wind.
Yeah, that's pretty douchebaggery.
You know, it's just douchebaggery, and he's getting his ass kicked on Twitter, or he was.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, 2 people just handed him his ass.
And then he plagiarized his responses to them, correct?
He plagiarized. Here's the thing. I forget who.
I think that's fucking hilarious.
I forget who kind of put the parting shot in.
Yeah.
He issued an apology of some sort. But the person who basically read the tweet said, notice that he plagiarized something that she had written before and just changed a couple things around. And he tweeted back, "Oh, this is mine. You just changed a few things around." So he plagiarized twice.
And what I think now is what he's doing is trying to do, it's a whole ironic thing. Like, that's what I do as a joke. I'm plagiarizing everything.
Yeah,
I think he has a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah,
that's fucking hilarious.
He's just saying, I ripped these people off. Yeah, you have a sense of humor, but it doesn't take it from the fact that you rip people off.
Here's the tweet that basically suggests he was done with public life. In light of the recent attacks against my artistic integrity, I am retiring from all public life. My love goes out to those who have supported me. # stop creating.
Good. Stop stealing.
Yeah, no shit.
# stop stealing. Well, you know what? This brings up an interesting topic.
Well, creating? What has he created?
Nothing, exactly, really.
Stop stealing. # stop stealing.
Look at his film career. Okay. He's been in Transformers. It was nothing independent, nothing, nothing that the common audience doesn't know. He was in Indiana Jones, a fucking super hit movie. The guy's never done anything.
Well, even that Holes movie was based on a big book.
Yeah, he was in that. You're right.
And it's based on a hit book. That was his first big gig.
Wasn't he famous for that Rear View Mirror or whatever?
No, he was bigger.
He was famous for
Suburbia.
No, Even Steven, or one of those.
Disturbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he got really big for.
Yeah.
And that's even, I think it's an Alfred Hitchcock
it's
thing.
It's based kind of more on
Rear View Mirror.
There's a bit of Rear Window.
The guy's never done anything really creative.
Exactly.
So fuck him.
But I'm trying to...
To me, I think what's even more interesting than him is, I think I got a new topic. What have you done in your life that you would actually be willing to skywrite an apology for? Or is there anything in your life that you would do that for?
It takes a special kind of look at me self-absorption to hire a fucking skywriter to apologize. You couldn't be a man and go to this guy face to face and say, "Hey, look, you know what? I fucked up major. I won't do it again. Try to do something better from now on." He didn't even have the courtesy to pick up a phone call or shoot an email or anything. He hired a skywriter. This is all centered around, look at me. I screwed up, but I'm big enough to hire a skywriter as opposed to doing this like way normal people would.
Okay,
you know what he should have done? He should have even plagiarized his apology in person. Like, what he should have done, he should have gone to the guy's house and done a fucking John Cusack with the boombox.
Take it all the way.
It's just completely your whole
Peter Gabriel
career
blaring out the
plagiarized.
boombox in your eyes.
I think that would actually have been awesome.
Fucking hilarious.
But then he would have tweeted out to the paparazzi, and they would have filmed it. It would have been on TMZ.
Would he have been wearing a duster and that old Ready T-shirt? And don't play In Your Eyes. That's sacrilege. Play something else by Peter Gabriel.
Fucking hilarious.
The only thing I would skywrite is like, this guy is a queer over Chad's house or something with a big arrow pointing down, like fag here or dick suck here or something like that. It's anonymous.
Suck here.
Free. Ooh, a line outside.
Ooh. Yeah, that guy he ripped off has issued a cease and desist letter to him.
Probably harassing him now.
Yeah.
Hey, motherfucker, you didn't quit Hollywood. You're gonna get sued if you try to do anything. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's screwed. I think he should just
I
disappear.
think he's done.
He should fade away. He really should.
Just go away. I mean,
Not
you're
that good of an actor.
you're a lesser, scummier James Franco. Go away.
James Franco is the best.
Does Franco call your house at midnight, start laughing, and then hang up?
That's what Shia LaBeouf did.
I'm taking that as a joke.
Oh.
You're not me. Ha ha. Click. The more I read this, the more fascinated I am with the story because it's just.
Hey, well, check this out. Speaking of Shia LaBeouf, a game I wanted to play. Everyone's involved. Raymond,
All right.
Chad, Alex.
Yeah.
I'll take score. I have a pen and paper here. According to BuzzFeed, they made a list that came out June 2013 last year of the highest grossing action-adventure movie franchises up to that date.
Should be easy.
All right, so we're saying easy. So, keep in mind, this is not up to date till present, but last summer, which was pretty big, so the next big summer's coming up, so this is going to change immensely because there's some sequels coming out for some of these movies.
No.
So, how do you guys want to play this? Do you guys want to just name out movies, try to see how many you can get out of the top 10, or should I do like the bottom 5 and then you guys try to guess the top 5 after they get kind of weeded out?
Do the
Or do
bottom
you-
5.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
think that's better.
All right.
And then we'll guess the top.
Because I guarantee you we can knock that top 5 out quick.
Yeah.
Knowing our
This is-
comprehensive nerd knowledge.
Yeah. This is
we'll fucking knock this out.
This
All
is
right,
child's
let's
play.
do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Born Identity is the last one.
Serious? That's
Yep.
on there?
Oh, I think
I
it'd be
never
higher.
thought-
The Born series, not Identity. The Born
Okay.
series. Making over like $1
There's
billion.
4 in the franchise. so
Exactly.
that's
Exactly. Rambo.
No way.
That's,
The Rambo series.
I would have never guessed that.
First Blood was huge.
Yeah, so was the second one.
And so was the second one, yeah. So I think those alone. And then even the latest
The last
remake
one.
did okay. I
That was a
think.
decent movie.
Yeah, I liked
It
it.
was better than the third.
Planet of the Apes series.
That doesn't surprise me.
Wow, fuck, they're going far back.
That new one was huge, and then there's like 8 of them, right?
Yeah.
No.
You know, plus the Tim Burton one. That one was kind of big.
That's.
I know. We're talking
Yeah,
money here.
but-
Again,
yeah.
we're talking
Right.
money here. The Lethal Weapon series.
Yeah.
One of
First two are strong.
Biggest action movie series
Third one's
ever,
not too
right?
bad. Yeah.
Little known hit. Well, not little known, but maybe if you guys remember this, but Jet Li, his first American movie was actually Lethal Weapon 3.
4. It was Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. Chris Rock was in one of those too.
Yep.
He was in the fourth one.
And Joe Pesci was in one of them.
He was in three of them.
See, I never saw Lethal Weapon. I just know.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing this is more than 10. Well, anyways, then next is
Fuck you, BuzzFeed. Give us
Yeah.
a correct list.
The Chronicles of Narnia,
I get that. They've
Uh-huh.
had a couple movies.
then the Mummy series.
Okay.
The
What
Brendan
number
Fraser
ones?
ones?
Are we at?
Then where does the
21,
game
22,
part
23,
come in?
24, 25,
We're
26,
guessing the
27,
top 5.
29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Actually, there's 33 here.
Jesus.
It's a
Oh, we'll start
33.
from 10 and up.
My
So
bad.
10 bottom.
Ah,
I mean, 10 going
1, 2,
to
3,
5.
4,
Once you
5,
get
6,
5,
7,
then we guess.
9, 10.
Work in progress. People.
All right.
Work in progress.
All right. Number 10,
Good.
the Twilight series.
All right.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess all those little fucking...
It's a lot of teenage girls.
Exactly.
Where? Oh,
Ah,
number 9. A series featuring Shia LaBeouf.
Transformers.
Where's the buzzer?
What?
Indiana Jones.
That is number 9?
The number 9 series.
oh, wow. We didn't even say...
Wow.
Transformers is there, though.
Star Wars is number 1.
Number 8. Spider-Man series.
Okay.
Including reboots.
That's gonna
Hey.
go. That's gonna... No cheating, dick face.
Too late. Cheated.
Dick face.
Cheated and won.
You guys get to guess the next top 8.
Just throw it away. You ruined it.
Let's
All
see.
right.
You guys need more points because there's only 5, so it's not enough points.
I imagine the Hunger Games series is on there. It has to be.
I'm
Chad
saying
did
Star
one.
Wars.
Ray did one.
You're saying Star Wars is number 1?
Yeah, I'm saying it's number 1.
Okay.
Number 1, huh?
It's an internet poll. Come on.
Top grossing movies. Has nothing to do with internet poll.
You
has
know what?
nothing-
I'm gonna put Batman on there.
the Batman
Top grossing
series.
action adventure movie?
Yes. Series is not movie.
Series.
Total.
Ooh.
So you say Star Wars, Alex says Batman.
I got one here. The Bond series.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I never thought of that one. Harry Potter's on there.
It has to be.
It has to be.
The Lord of the Rings series has
That's
to be on
another
there.
one. Transformers is on there.
Yeah, I made enough money to get on
It
there.
had to, yeah, well, now
Yeah.
they're going into 4.
There might be Dinobots.
Oh, I think I have a dinosaur sound. Hold on. Hold on for that. Let's keep guessing, people.
All right. Well, after Spider-Man, we have. You guys didn't think of this one, the Pirates of the Caribbean series.
Yeah, I should have thought of that one.
Then Batman at number 7.
Wow.
Well, at least I was right about Batman.
The Tolkien Saga.
Which is
That's the Hobbit, Lord of the
Yes.
Rings.
Then the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What number is that?
duh.
4.
Morons.
3 is Harry Potter. 2 is Star Wars.
Oh, close
Okay.
enough. I win.
And number 1 is James Bond.
Oh.
Chad is the winner.
Thank you.
He wins
call.
Chad's t-shirt.
But also, just to go down the list too, we have Alien Predator series on here. See, this is what I didn't like this list overall because I found a couple things wrong with it. Would you group in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as like
Not really.
one as a franchise?
Yeah.
As a franchise as a whole,
Right, that's what they did, and it still was number 4.
I don't know. Not all of those make that much money. They make money. They make money by the handful. But no.
That's a hard call just because, I mean, I would agree with Ray. I think you have to tie them in because each story does tie in to something. But that's loosely.
So you guys would think the Tolkien Saga deserves to be just like that, not broken into trilogies?
No, I think the Tolkien Saga is
Well, it is
correct.
franchise, right? Okay,
Yeah.
franchise. Well, one thing I didn't know is Hunger Games is actually not on here.
Oh, at all?
No, so I don't know.
Die.
Would that not be?
Well, maybe
considered
because there's only
action
two.
adventure?
Maybe because there's only 2 movies.
It's
and-
not done yet. Maybe.
Yeah, you have to.
4
There's
parts,
2 more
right?
coming.
But that list is going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, Bond will probably stay at 1. Just because how many fucking Bond movies, and then there's another one coming up. Avengers will be up there really high soon.
Yeah.
Star Wars as well, now that Disney got a hold of that property. So I think they also got a hold of Indiana Jones too.
They might. I think all of LucasArts.
Yeah, so that's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see what that list will change in the next couple of years.
The Animated Adventures of Indiana Jones.
And that's going to be an interesting list to see.
Well, after
Tintin is a new
Matrix
Tintin.
isn't on there?
oh well. Okay, so we did the top 10. So number 11 is Rocky.
That makes sense.
And then-
6 movies in the franchise.
Then Jaws.
What about Terminator?
Then Star Trek.
Okay.
Then Jurassic Park series. Then the Transformer series. Then the Alien/Predator series. Again, they included.
Because
all
they
the
merged
things.
them, so I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. There you go.
Same company.
And
too.
I think that's the only reason why that's on there.
Oh, no, but then, okay, but this is the problem with the list then. If you're gonna do that, then why don't they do fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th?
Because those are horror.
And-
This is
but that-
action adventure.
Oh, that's, okay.
And
Yeah,
Alien
you're right on that.
Alien falls in that kind of middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only one that was really action adventure was Aliens.
And then that last one, Resurrection, where she's all buff or whatever.
The one
Yeah.
Josh Whedon did.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad. And then after that, the Mission Impossible series.
Ghost Protocol was really good.
Yeah, the last 2 were pretty good. I
Yeah.
liked them. But then that series is not over. They're making new ones. So again, this list is just kind of thrown all over the place. Fast and the Furious after that,
Yeah, that
Oh.
should be on there.
and that's going to keep growing.
Yeah, well,
We
hopefully
maybe.
not.
Need for Speed.
Superman series.
It will be.
It's in better hands now, so yes.
Now, can you guys tell me, since there was 3 Supermen, which one of their movies were actually the highest grossing out of all 3 of them? Because it's broken down like that too.
Okay, so I'm gonna
So we
say
have Christopher Reeve, Brendan Roth, and Henry Cavill. Which Superman made more money?
Henry
in the box?
Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Jesus.
And Raymond wins. Christopher Reeve.
Well, but is it taking all his movies?
Yeah, it's all of them
Okay, so
combined.
that's
Yeah, he
gonna be
grossed
gone
more.
the next movie that comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Batman, Superman, he's done.
Okay, so after the Superman series, X-Men series
That makes sense, especially with the next 2 on the way.
does not mention if it includes Wolverine movies or the First Class movies
That's no, I think First Class is on there. It has to be.
or the Origin movies. I mean, The Matrix after that,
Oh,
Men in Black after that,
Okay.
okay.
which I saw the 3rd one recently, and it was
Pretty
actually
good, huh?
not too bad.
Yeah,
It
favorite.
improves on the second. That's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It had the feel of the first one, which was
Yeah,
good,
it did.
wholesome, fun.
Joel Schumacher did a good job with that one.
After that, we had the Terminator series. Then the Die Hard series.
That was another one I was gonna say.
Back to the Future series. Godfather series. Then the Mummies, Chronicles of Narnia, Lethal Weapon. Planet of the
All
Apes,
right.
and Rambo. Well, there you go. I mean, these are pretty much movies that defined us growing up, and it looks like they defined a lot of people around the world, and that's kind of cool.
So, not too bad, actually.
Right. Well, Chad's the winner. What do you win, Chad? What do we have? And this is how we determine the prizes. We look in our pockets and see what we can give the winner.
I got some change.
Oh, this ought to be exciting.
You put in your cup.
I have nothing. I have lint.
Anyways, next time.
Next time we'll have a...
Yeah.
Well,
I win the treatment of a transient, is what I win. All right.
I think that was... I think we knew that was going to happen. Bond, that one, I did not think of that. I should have thought
Yeah, he has so many. And then they even have... Okay, which Bond was the highest grossing Bond?
Skyfall.
It has to be...
Not the movie. It's broken down by actors, unfortunately.
Sean Connery.
So we have Sean Connery, George Lazenby. Huh? Who?
We did one Bond flick.
Yeah.
Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton,
Pierce Brosnan,
and Daniel Craig.
Okay, so I'm going to say...
Brosnan.
No, I'm going to say... What's the other guy? You said not Timothy Dalton, but the other one?
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
I disagree. I think Connery did the most.
Right.
Yeah, but look at the time frame.
But
budget-wise, they weren't making shit back
Brosnan,
then.
because the value of $1 was higher, so...
I don't think it's gross for inflation.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's overall.
Yeah.
Brosnan.
Okay. I actually need a ruler. Because it's very close. Sean Connery barely inches out Roger Moore.
Wow.
That was close.
Oh, wait, actually, Sean Connery wins because he came back into the role after one movie after George Lazenby.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Now, I watched the documentary on Bond. They don't consider those to be Bond movies. The ones that he came back in, they didn't consider those to be Bond movies.
Never Say Never Again,
Correct.
and what was the other one he did?
In what way? Because they weren't based on a book? Or?
Because they didn't have the permission from Fleming's group.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. But are those still available on like DVD and stuff? Or
I mean,
you can find them.
In general, they merged them in, but from what Fleming's people were saying, they don't really count those in there.
Wow.
Why not?
Never Say Never Again.
There was like 2 or 3 that he did.
There's one that really stands out, and that's Never Say Never Again.
Yeah.
That was Warner Brothers did that, I think.
Right.
And yeah, they did not have Fleming.
Right, because they had Roger Moore's permission to do. He was their go-to.
Yeah, for
but
that
then
time, yes.
Sean Connery was pissed. And it's like, no, I want to reprise the role. So they did one with him. It was very weird, that Bond thing. It has an interesting movie career.
I'm gonna actually look. Is that on Netflix or something?
It was.
It's an interesting. It's an interesting
documentary
flick.
I've been into Bond for a while enough.
It's really good.
Oh, they have the list broken down by the Star Wars trilogy as well. Which trilogy made more so far? The original trilogy or prequels trilogy?
The original.
I'd have to say the original because they re-released them.
Mm-hmm. Whenever they need a quick buck, they just throw that original trilogy out again.
You guys are right.
Yeah.
The first one pretty much made as much as this new trilogy combined. Oh, this is interesting for the Batman series. This is how they decided to break it down. Okay, BuzzFeed, I'm done with you now after this list. This is how they break it down: the Burton Schumacher era and the Nolan era. No. That BuzzFeed should be broken into 3 eras.
Why?
Yep.
Why 3?
I don't think you should put Burton and Schumacher together as one era. It should be the Burton era, the Schumacher era, and then the Nolan era.
Yeah, I think it's a slap in the face of Tim Burton.
Yeah, you can't put those in there.
The Schumacher shit should never happened.
I'm gonna have to say Nolan, just because I think. Yeah, didn't that second movie break tons of records?
Yes, Dark Knight did.
It has to be the Nolan one.
And then the third one was just about...
just as equal, even though it's fucking garbage.
You're right. It looks like it beat it by, but marginally, but yeah. And then, so yeah, it destroyed it. Well, there's 4 movies between Burton and Schumacher, and only 3 between Nolan. And
so that's not too far of a gap for them to beat Nolan.
Here's another good one, if it's accurate.
Okay.
They broke up the Star Trek series. Because, let's not forget, there was the original cast, the Next Generation cast actually made some movies.
And the remakes.
And then the remakes.
I'm gonna have to go Next Generation cast.
No, I'm not the original cast. They made so much with that.
Okay.
This one with Kirk. This original one, right?
Original, yeah. Original cast.
Mm-hmm.
By a lot? Well, you know what? That doesn't count, though, because
so
the
many of
original
them.
and the new cast met in one.
Yes, yeah, I don't know how they're breaking this
Yeah,
one down.
that's
too.
stupid.
Okay.
It's all the same universe, just different.
Well, then,
existences.
but then if that's the case, then
Yeah.
you could count these J.J. Abrams ones.
Yeah.
Because that old Spock met the new Spock.
twice.
Fuck.
Yeah, too much overlap in anything.
Boo.
The same thing with X-Men. Boo, buzz. Pretty graphic. You can download it on their website, but overall, yeah. It's just-
Podcast.com.
It's not too many,
Favorite robots in cinematic history. Go. from Raymond.com over here.
my favorite robot in cinematic history would have to be probably R2-D2.
Yeah.
Same here.
C3PO, you homo.
No, I say R2-D2. Best robot ever.
R2 or nothing.
What about Robbie?
What about Robbie?
Robbie the robot. That sounds familiar.
Lost in Space.
That's who he is, okay.
Yeah. Danger.
All right, who's your favorite Wookiee?
There's only one. Chewie.
Arkath. Arkath.
Meow Baka.
Meow.
Who's your favorite former smuggler turned hero for the Alliance?
What's his face? Dash Rendar. Oh, yeah.
Lando
If you knew who that was, give yourself applause. Give yourself applause.
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 A plus.
Applause.
Clap your hands for a little bit.
Make a clap. Make a clap.
Dash Rendar. Who fucking...
That's the
Come
guy
on, I
from,
got fucking brownie points on that one right there.
I'll give you a brownie.
Brownie points for yourself. Wow.
Thank you, sir.
I give myself prop, dog. You were cool. Alex just gave himself his own knuckles.
What was that? Shadow of the Empire?
I like how I remember it.
Shadow of the Empire,
Yeah,
yeah,
was
for
it?
N64.
Yep.
Horrible game. Now that I think about it.
No,
It was
wasn't
good
fun.
for the time.
Yeah, but now when you look back at it, it was horrible.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Well, I
You
just,
had no
I just
choice.
downloaded the emulator. I'm going to play it for a little bit right now. Let's see
Nice.
how that goes. Look at my
oh,
screen.
that first stage was so awesome too. When you grappling the legs of the.
Didn't they even
AT-AT.
make toys of him? He was
Yeah,
in the continuity,
he was
right?
pretty big in the continuity. Yeah, well, that game was like big. They even made a Toy Series Shadows of the Empire based on that because of the comic too. He was in.
Can't believe I still remember that.
Dash Rendar. That was his real name?
Yeah, that was
Dash
what it was called.
Rendar.
Don't you even get in the?
He was
Millennium
Han
Falcon?
Solo's buddy, I think.
Yeah, they were smugglers together, and he ends up becoming part of the Alliance and stuff.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Speaking of games. Anyways, so what I've read was at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, I believe it's called.
Yes, it is.
PlayStation had a huge reveal, and you guys know how I feel about PlayStation. Fuck
Yeah.
that company.
Right.
Well, Sony, period. But they had a huge reveal, and their reveal was PlayStation Now. What is PlayStation Now? Well, pretty much it's an online game streaming service / rental. I don't know. I think they're ripping Nintendo off in a sense.
Sounds that way.
I don't think streaming is a good idea for games. But I mean, tell that to Valve, and Valve will fucking say you're wrong. And then that Stream Machine is just one of the big things right now. But I don't know. I don't like this whole PlayStation concept. I don't like what they're doing. Let me go into what actually in details. So the service runs on 720p. Of course, that depends on your service, on your internet provider.
Right.
But it's coming out for the PlayStation 3, PS4, PS Vita. Now, I found this interesting. Sony televisions, mobile device, and tablets. But what the service games it includes, it'll include games from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and some of PlayStation 3. I don't think PlayStation 1 games are classic. Not in the sense of... and I'm only comparing it to Nintendo. Nintendo games are classic games. I want to go back and play the fucking first Zelda. I know people that still play the first Mario Brothers. I don't think any of these PlayStation games are considered classic by any sense to me.
You don't want to go back and play the original Siphon Filter again.
Exactly.
Why not? I would.
No, it's
I
gameplay
make
is
a
horrible.
habit of playing the Super Nintendo version of Punch-Out a lot.
What about Final Fantasy
That's
VII?
gameplay though.
But even then,
No,
like,
that game is.
I wouldn't want to play it again.
No. I tried already.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's real hard.
It's so slow. It's just things are just the gaming is just so different now. Like, but again, like a game where they like Punch Out. That's a gameplay game, where it's classic. It's not like complicated. Those games you can't compare like to the games. PlayStation 1 was like the whole new 3D thing. So the old school Super Nintendo games were a lot to do with your play mechanics, like the Mega Man games. So of course, those
mechanics work on that level.
Exactly, but there's no games like that.
And that was one of the funny things that Nintendo had mentioned when they were bashing all these consoles for all their new releases coming out. Nintendo says we make games that people don't want to fucking return because their games have a longevity. Their games, like you guys said, they're so classic. You don't care about the graphics so much as the gameplay works. For instance, Donkey Kong, the original one where Mario has to climb up the stairs and jump the barrels.
Yep.
People still play that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that iconic. I don't think you get that with these PlayStation. I wouldn't want to play. For instance, this is a perfect one. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. Now, I had the option at one point to replay Resident Evil 1 on PlayStation 1 or the remake on GameCube. I played the one on fucking GameCube.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't want to fucking deal with the horrible dialogue, the fucking block-headed pixelization.
Yeah.
It sucked. Don't get me wrong, I do love some. PlayStation 2 was awesome, and PlayStation 1 was good. I do like... They have some creative games, but their main focus is graphics,
cinematic
graphics. Mm-hmm. But that does not hold a game anymore. It doesn't.
No, and exactly, that's... I read about this, but I read it... The story was something a little bit different about GameFly, because you know how they rent games. So this is how I read about it. Like
GameStop's also going to go on it too.
Yeah, that GameFly, that their stocks went down because of this PlayStation Network.
GameStop as well.
I guess it's cool to say that you offer it, but you're completely right. Like, where's the content? Remember that game 1?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was the Bruce Willis one, right?
No. That was Apocalypse.
That's Apocalypse.
No, 1 was kind of cool. Like, it was like your arm fell off and you were like, the helicopter
very
chases you.
Similar, though.
Very similar.
Yeah, but better. It was like what they should have done. Then it was cool. Now it's not. Siphon Filter, the same thing. It's not as good because those games...
But even that first Metal Gear, I mean, that doesn't even kind of hold up anymore.
For the PlayStation?
You had to play Twin Snakes, huh?
Yeah, on GameCube, yeah.
I had to play Twin Snakes.
Exactly.
I mean, to add on what else it's doing... in order to play it requires a PlayStation 3 controller or a PS4 controller. It is going to incorporate the trophy system, which PlayStation has completely stolen from Xbox. But anyways, It is incorporating multiplayer. For a streaming service, I mean, I guess they want to go more PC with their titles. Also, another big kind of if is the subscription service. This is where I have a problem. With Nintendo, at least, if I want to go back to their back catalog, I can and just buy that title. What? I'm going to rent a fucking service on games that I really don't want to play anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to... I mean, it'll be good for one to try some of the games out. For me, the games I tried out, guess what? I fucking bought them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how that's going to work, especially with a subscription service.
And yeah, exactly. Like, who's the fan base they're trying to go after? Because people like you are not going to, like you said, go back and rebuy a crappy game, and then the younger generation are not going to tolerate that game. So
I think anybody in my generation would go the Nintendo route over the PlayStation route.
Yeah.
So, and also the saves are going to go through their cloud system, which everybody's doing now. Like I said, the 720p depends on your internet connection. So if you have a shitty connection, good luck fucking going on a service. It's probably not going to work well. Yeah,
because even if you just download the game to like own, I know even Xbox does like when you download a game, it only comes in 720. There's no 1080 version to download. Right. So that's just for bandwidth. And then the PS1 games are going to be in 720 resolution? They look like shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like looking at a DVD when you have a Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah, because like those whole like re-releases of like the Marvel games, the Capcom fighting games. I thought it was cool at first, but now I can't stand to look at it. That filter they put on it, like with the re-releases HD, where it doesn't look pixelated.
Oh, it looks like muddy colors,
watercolor, But then yet you switch it to the pixels and it looks like shitty. It looks even shittier. We're too high res for that type of graphics now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess there are some titles that I would want to try again. For instance, Parappa the Rapper. I would definitely want to play that again, but I'm not playing it for the visual.
Intelligent Cube.
For Intelligent Cube's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it. I mean, I'd try it out for a second and I'd be done with it. You know what I mean?
I was watching YouTube videos on that game the other day, actually.
Which, Intelligent Cube?
Intelligent Cube.
That was an interesting fucking game, dude. It really was. But I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, what is it going to hurt Sony? I guess it's not. You know what I mean?
It's just for them to make money
exactly. Because I mean, but Nintendo. I understood why Nintendo did.
Yeah.
You know what? You have diehard fans, for instance, like me and a couple other people I know, that fucking love playing those old games. Love going at it with them again. You know, even like for instance, the old Mario Brothers. My daughter was fucking playing that when she was a kid. How many kids that now do that? You don't get that anymore.
There was a point in time where, like in the last 10 years, where Mario was actually more well known than Mickey Mouse.
Oh, he's probably one more than fucking Jesus.
I think it goes Mario, Mickey Mouse, Ronald McDonald, Jesus, Superman, something like that.
We are better than Jesus.
The Beatles, Ronald McDonald. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea. But I do love the GameStop is fucking stock has gone down because of this. Yeah. Fucking hate that store. I hate that fucking company.
Amen.
They rip people off ridiculously. So I'm glad they're stock. Will it hurt them in the end? No. It won't. I mean, for now, it's hurting them. Yeah. GameStop will figure some bullshit out and bounce back like usual. But I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm glad I'm not the only person in this room who hates GameStop.
I fucking hate them, but unfortunately, you're kind of stuck with them, so you have no other choice.
Yeah. As a used game aficionado, that's all I go to GameStop.
Yeah, I love GameStop because of their used game selection.
Well, someone
when they
has
tried
to.
their bullshit, I'm like, no,
it's
just want the.
Yeah, but for new games though,
I never buy new games from.
Fuck new games. Yeah. Fuck new games.
No, new games are worth that.
Nope.
Fuck new games and fuck downloading old, stupid, crappy PS1 games.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea of PS4. Buy the fucking catalog from Jaguar and release those too.
Yeah.
Fucking
retards. But you see, Nintendo was even smart about that too. They said, okay, let's fucking get Sega's catalog. So they got fucking Sega's catalog.
Oh, Sega's the whore of the video game world right now. They open their legs. As soon as they stop making systems, they'll do anything right now. I don't even think anyone...
Which everybody wants Nintendo to do, but I'm sorry. Mario and fucking Legend of Zelda will not let themselves whore out.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
Whatever happened to that rumor that they were bringing back the Dreamcast? Remember? Did you hear that?
No, never heard it.
No? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I guess it just died as fast as the Dreamcast did.
Right.
You have such two iconic characters, they can keep your console afloat for years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, that's fucking Sony.
And what's amazing is, like, Sony, I mean, you mentioned Mario, how he's big, but even Sonic, like, last year for Halloween, 2 years ago now, there was tons of kids as Shadow and Sonic. You know, it's like, wow. Yeah. And they were young little kids.
That was surprising how long Sonic has lasted.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, though, he's had television shows.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in comics, so, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. That's the only reason Sony's still alive, to tell you the truth.
Or Sega.
Sega, excuse me.
What other Segas, who else do they have out right now?
How's it?
No one else carried over, like...
I know they were pushing...
Kid Chameleon? Remember that game?
No, they were pushing Vector Man.
Oh,
I know when Sega was coming out, that was their big...
Yeah, but...
Want to get away from the Sonic people. But yeah, that didn't last. Sonic was the only one that lasted out of that.
Panzer Dragoon died out.
I mean, they bring it back every once in a while, but it doesn't have the longevity Sonic.
Yeah.
Sega just did not have it.
No, they didn't.
You know, I mean, they could have at least been a Capcom, but no, that fell apart.
Yeah, but even Capcom's fucking that up. You know what I mean?
Well, Capcom's been fucking itself up for quite a while now. It's embarrassing to watch.
So I just don't think this is a good idea. I mean, like I said, it's not going to hurt Sony, but I don't think it'll work to the expectation they're thinking. I don't think their titles are classic enough. Oh, hey, let's go fucking play the first Metal Gear. Let's play the first...
You mentioned Parappa the Rappa, but I honestly can't pull any games from PS1 that I would want to play. Nothing carried over that I remember.
I mean, that was hard for you.
I'm trying. I'm even trying.
I'm trying. I can count them all on one hand.
Go.
Intelligent Cube.
Okay.
The first Metal Gear. I like the first Metal Gear.
I like it too.
Right, but what he's saying, there's a different version, the GameCube one that's better.
And it's not even really that different.
It's not that different.
High res
one. Yeah. It just looks better. It's not that different.
It doesn't have the long loading either.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that's one of my big peeves is the old school loading.
So we got Intelligent Cube, Metal Gear Solid, Parappa the Rapper. I did like. I'd play that again. There was one Final Fantasy out there that really stood out. 7.
Yeah, okay.
7 was good, and I don't like those.
7 is a good Final Fantasy,
but I did like it. But you know, I would play that again, and you know, but yeah, okay, that's 4. 4.
So is this a service you pay monthly, or do you pay per title?
It's a subscription service.
Oh, then that's full of shit, bullshit.
No.
It's horrible.
No.
But I mean, that's the thing too. At least with Nintendo's catalog, you can download them and play them at your free will. Mm-hmm. With a streaming service, you never really get to kind of own your game.
You know what? Alex has sold me. You know, yeah,
that's what they're trying to do.
This is a horrible idea. I
mean, at least Nintendo, I can turn off the internet, go fucking whatever, and I can fucking play a Metroid or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Sony's online, at least from what they're saying now. Once the criticism comes back, Sony will fucking fix whatever the shit they gotta fix.
If they know it's
I just
good
think
for
it's a
them.
bad idea, though.
I got it. Not Banjo.
That was Nintendo.
Crash Bandicoot. There you go.
Bandicoot?
But they're gonna make money off of that just because of the name alone. And then they have another big one. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. I'm trying to remember. You
know what though? I don't think people will go Spyro just because Spyro's so big now.
People will try to see again. They're not going to go out, but again, that's what they're just thinking of. I'm trying to think where was the business decision because, and he named the games Final Fantasy because they know they're going to sell based on name. Mm-hmm. They're not having the game. We don't want to play anymore. So that's why we're hoping people listen to this and this gets out there. Do not fall for it. Do not buy them. Do not give them more of your money.
But then that means Sony has to make a deal with the distributors again because that distributor, it's their game.
But again,
at least Nintendo.
These are old games that are just sitting there that Nintendo games people are always going to want.
And not only that, the games that Nintendo, the majority of them they released are Nintendo owned.
Correct. That's true.
So they didn't have to worry about too much getting it from other companies.
Bro, Nintendo, all their systems always care about their first person game, first party games than anything. Yeah, that's why they're saying they're kind of failing now is because they don't make anything friendly for like other companies. But you only buy a Nintendo system if you want to play Zelda, Mario,
Metroid,
and some other like games.
That's pretty much why that's why Nintendo's going to be the company you'll never kill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, people. Things like Halo will come and go, but Mario Kart will always be fun.
Right.
But there was a report not too long ago. The 3DS had the highest selling games of any console.
Right.
I think it was like 16 million.
Why is that so popular anyway?
The 3DS is awesome.
It is?
It is a fucking unbelievable.
How?
It comes with free porn.
That's right. That's right.
Like we've mentioned in our previous cast.
No, but I mean, like, really great games. Like, the games are fun,
the games
too.
are pretty fucking good, dude. I mean, think of it this way. You have your Mario Kart, which you can do online and play with the racers on your 3DS. The 3D aspect of it is it works on some level. You don't necessarily need it. But even the way they've redesigned some of their games, Zelda, for instance, is a huge difference in the way you played this one over your previous ones. Pokemon is fucking, like everybody laughs at me that I still play Pokemon, but that game is a fucking unbelievable RPG. It is a great game.
It is.
And that's the reason why it's so big in Japan. That game's dynamic isn't even the same as it used to be. They've reinvented a lot of their games again that work excellent on a 3DS. For a handheld, especially when you just have like 30 minutes, just bored out of your mind at work, just fucking play Zelda for a little bit. Boom, works perfect.
And that's awesome, and that's what Nintendo's.
That's why Nintendo will never die.
Their handheld systems have always been like from the Game Boy to like now the biggest selling thing.
But that's the thing. Sony, I guess it might see. I don't even know how that subscription service would work for the Vita, because they're talking about porting it on the Vita. I mean, unless you have a good internet connection, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know a lot of places still that don't really have good connections.
Well, too, these companies think worldwide. U.S. is known for having horrible internet.
Correct.
But there's some countries that are like, we consider, not third world, not that exit, but like below us. But yet they have like 500 megabytes per second.
Yes.
Google fiber optics.
But then again, too, they probably only have so many people actually that can afford to get on it.
No, it's free. Public.
Sweet.
Dude, there's some, again, maybe Sweden, like we could look it up, but.
Oh, no, I think you're right, yeah.
Oh, well, Raymond had some auditions in Burbank, and we took him one time. So I'm just waiting while he's doing his thing, and in the car at the metro station, and I'm looking at my tablet, and I don't have a Wi-Fi connection, so I'm just fucking around, and then all of a sudden I see the city of Burbank. Go, click on, logs in. kind of scary because it's not it's an open network. But again, I don't really have anything on my tablet that I'm afraid of, so I used it, and it was pretty quick. I was able to look at porn, was able to stream YouTube. That's it. but we don't have that.
That's all you do with a tablet. That's all I do with my tablet. Well, you know what? Actually, the only thing I do with my tablet now, well, besides sound effects, but with it, I download a lot of music on my fucking tablet, which is fucking great. I don't have to worry about my fucking computer getting a virus. Yeah. I download on my tablet crashes over, I fucking reboot it and done. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know.
I kind of brought that up too because I've been hearing, sorry to cut you off, that tablet gaming is going to like overtake like mobile gaming. And now that we're talking about the Nintendo handhelds, I've tried to look for good games on my tablet. The iPad has that one game by Square, like a couple okay games, I guess. But even those are just pretty much swiping on your on the screen. They're not like real games to me, you know?
You could give me your best tablet game, and I can give you 5 equivalent 3DS games that are 10 times better.
Right.
Tablet gaming will never be handheld Nintendo gaming.
The only game that I saw that was pretty cool and pretty close were the Final Fantasy remakes. Yeah. But those were even like $15 too much. Where I'm like, nah.
And I'm not gonna spend $15 on a fuck that. You know what I mean?
You can ROM it even.
Like if anything, the only game I really play on my tablet is The Simpsons fucking Tapped Out. But other than that, that's basically like a time game. Like I get all their jobs done, I wait fucking 24 hours and I go back.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm not really playing anything else. I don't know. But think of it too. Some of these games, for instance, like I downloaded The Walking Dead Assault. I guess it's the tablet exclusive game that they did for Walking Dead. And that would have been 10 times better on a handheld. Yeah. Like just the controls on it alone are just, you have to push the up on the screen. It just fucking it felt clunky. Didn't work.
Yeah, because there's a whole market even with just like those controllers that you can attach to your tablet. So it's like you're playing this like
stupid.
Go buy a 3DS if you want a game.
If you want something that big, get a Nintendo Wii or Wii U.
Yeah, let's take a vote. I wouldn't, even if I had a PS4, I would not subscribe to that service.
I sure as hell wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. I think it's a waste of money.
No, speaking of waste of money in video games, a game that I've been really, really interested in and wanting to try is DayZ.
What is DayZ?
I've been hearing so much about that. I want a PC game just for that, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
Same here, especially, let me explain the situation here. It's pretty much a beta that you pay for. And if you don't know what a beta is, before the game gets released, they beta test it. Mm-hmm. And before, companies would have their own beta testers, probably a group of 10 people or whatever, that would play the heck out of the game, find, glitches, bugs, even recommend a couple of things. Mm-hmm. Well, in this new, share everything with everyone society, video game companies are now releasing betas that you buy and you actually pay money for. Mm-hmm. You play the heck out of it. You find glitches. It's pretty much an incomplete game.
Right.
This game, DayZ, follows that model.
Well, hold on. I think the reason they're charging for the beta, at least from what I've heard, is the person that originally made the mod, which is the DayZ mod, isn't a big company. So I think by him charging for the beta, I think that allows him to make the game a fully game.
Correct. That's pretty much why it happened. This game is I consider, from what I've seen, I have not played it, but I've been obsessed with a couple of YouTube videos of people playing it. Mm-hmm. There's some psycho shit going on. It's based on a war game called Arma 2. Which is pretty much that's a PC only game, and they make fun of war games that are on on the big systems like Call of Duty and Battlefield, because supposedly it's a big open world game and it's about real survival. So and it started off as a mod for that game about the zombie apocalypse. Okay, where pretty much you start off bare bones. Mm-hmm. You just start off in this world, boom, pretty much your underwear and a flashlight. And no instructions, no details on how to play the game. You're just running around and trying to figure shit out.
Which is fucking awesome.
You can go days without running into another player. So there's different servers. On each server, I think there's a max of 40 people that can play. Okay. But it's pretty much the closest thing that you get to an open world game. You can either be a bandit or a hero. By meaning you find like gear and stuff scattered throughout the place. There's buildings, barracks. It's like a real zombie apocalypse. And you have to search for weapons, food, backpacks with your inventory. And so once you start finding things and you're wandering the city, there's other players that are there too. And you get to choose pretty much, you can kill other people. It's pretty much like if The Walking Dead was real.
Right.
They charge $29.99
Walking
for
Dead
this.
in a video game.
Yeah,
not real.
okay.
Yeah.
$29.95. This game glitches. It's incomplete. It crashes on you. You could spend a whole day playing it, and all of a sudden, you walk into a corner and you freeze, and your whole everything's done. Is this something that you think you would be into?
No. Give me the finished product.
Okay.
I'm not trying to do your job for you. That's what you have those guys from Grandma's Boy for. Let them do that.
Like get investors and all that stuff.
Yeah, investors. You know what I mean? You have game testers for a reason. You know, let them earn that check. I want the finished product.
Right.
You know, something this heavily involved, I definitely want the finished product.
Right. No, would you say, though, that, like, then don't buy this? Because it's obviously selling. I think it's sold like a shitload of
Sold
copies.
like
it's huge right now. It's getting big.
84,000 copies.
Right.
The first day.
Well, I
Yes.
understand the premise.
Steam.
I understand the
Oh,
premise.
because they did a
is appealing.
standalone one, right? Okay.
I understand the premise is appealing, but I personally would not spend the money on it.
You would just wait.
I would wait.
But then, okay. Now, this is just because I know you. But when have you spent the money on a console? Or a new game?
What do you mean?
But, you're asking
Me?
Chad. But he's never really spent money on a new console or a
Gotcha.
game.
That's not
So
true. I
that's
have
the big-
spent the money on this.
What
Right?
He has in the past.
Yeah, I've spent the money on a PS2 for myself.
Okay, that was...
That was a long
15
time
years
ago.
ago?
15 years ago.
Okay.
Jesus.
wasn't
Stop exaggerating.
It
I mean,
was. It was almost 15 years ago.
yeah, you know, I have spent the money on the game, but no, I mean, this is what-
This will answer the final question. What is the most current game you have bought?
That's a good question. I can't even think of it. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Okay.
One of the Grand Theft Autos, maybe? But that wasn't even new, huh?
Let's see, the last Grand Theft Auto game I bought was probably that Vice City Stories.
Which was
That was
15 years ago.
That was like 5 years ago, I think.
So you didn't buy a new? Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get Chad's point, but I don't think that's a great answer just because he's never really gone full gamer like we have.
Yeah.
Like, you guys buy used games, but guess what? If there's a title that you know you're going to buy, you're going to fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for me, now, I would definitely help this guy out.
Right.
I think because basically you're being the beta, you're the tester for it, and yes, you're paying for a beta, which normally does not happen. But you know what? I'm supporting this guy's vision. It's the same shit with Kickstarter. It's the same kind of almost premise.
Right.
At least this time I'm actually fucking trying it out instead of waiting for a movie to possibly or an invention to possibly come out.
Now, my question is, do you think you'd be burned out with it by the time the final... But then again, I'm hearing that it's going to be completely different, but then you've been playing a completely different game.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I agree with Chat.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to wait for the finished product.
Yeah, because
if that is the case,
that's
the
what they're
game,
saying.
the beta is completely different than the standalone.
We don't know
then
how
yeah,
this is what he's saying, that right now he's just trying to see how people are playing it so they can figure out how to make gameplay like a game. Because right now it's just an open world. Like, it's not going to be this open and like scary in the final release, they're saying.
I've heard some crazy shit about that game, dude.
Dude, there's a video where this guy just finds like a house in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing going on. He goes into the third floor, and then there's just like a guy with like a creepy mask, like standing over someone on their knees, and then he just starts beating up this guy with a crowbar, the guy in the corner, and then all of a sudden that tiptoe through the day starts playing, and this guy like just starts walking slowly towards the player, and the player's like, dude, stop, take all my gear, and the guy like runs out of the building, because you don't want to die in the game, because you lose
Yeah, 'cause you
everything,
lose all your
everything
shit.
you get.
Right.
And you can spend 3 days building your character, and if you die, that's it, you lose everything. Someone else has your shit, you can respawn, come back, kill that motherfucker, and get the shit again.
Right.
So so this guy is pretty much trolling, right? Because this player like logs in with the whole purpose of standing in a corner of this building, so whenever people just happen to walk in,
He just fucking
and he's
kills
just
them.
like walking them like slowly. No, he doesn't even kill him. He gets like a certain point of like the perimeter and just stops and just stares at the guy, and the guy's like, "Dude, what's up? Like, you're fucking weird." And all of a sudden, he just like disappears, and I'm like, "Oh man, this game is amazing."
I've seen people build their gear up exponentially.
Yeah.
A guy fucking a mile away snipe a fool and take all his gear. After this guy's built so much time getting all his gear just to be dead like that. It's fucking great, dude.
Can you download it, like, just straight up right now?
It's Steam. It's a Steam game.
Yeah, so you go on Steam and you should be able to get it from there.
Yeah, it's called DayZ. I'm really interested with these videos, man. There's right now a team. I can't think of his name right now, but him and a group of 4. They've been playing that Armna game since the beginning, and so they used to be bandits. They used to be the type that would wait in town, and like whenever these new people would show up, cap them, and steal all their shit, like no questions asked. And now that the standalone version's out, this guy actually is a hero now. So he actually like walks around fully geared and sees like new players they don't know what to do and like explains to them and like gives them bottled water. And it kind of reminded me of Walking Dead, you know, like when because he's being nice going around. And it's funny because a lot of people think he's like a bandit. No, don't kill me. Like, dude, I'm peaceful. Like, you could do like, there's little things where you can do where like you give like the peace sign, you know, like give people
suggestions of you.
But then like, no,
flag.
like this guy's running, no, you're a bandit, you're gonna kill me. Like, no. Look, he gave him food, gave him money, killed the guy that was hunting him, gave the guy an axe and said, here, man, so that you don't get killed. And after that, when he turns his back, the guy starts axing him in the back. He's like, you motherfucker. And the guy just like runs away jumping and just like, it's just... Yeah, it's a true open world game, and I'm really looking forward to that.
You know what though? As much as I am so fascinated with that game, I cannot do PC gaming.
Yeah,
I just can't.
That's what stopped me.
If they port it to console, I am fucking first on board.
Yeah, but it's one of those games too that has so many like shortcuts. It's almost really hard to make it unless you do like a menu that where you pause. Kind of like
you know what game actually reminded me of DayZ? It was super almost similar. Was Xbox had did an arcade game, what was that called? There's a zombie game. I forgot the name at the moment, it's eluding me. There's a game where pretty much you just start off as a regular character in a town. You go break into houses, you steal whatever you could pillage, you build up your house, you armor it up. It's almost exactly kind of same concept. You even have to watch out for other people that are coming to kill you.
For Xbox?
I got it. Yeah, it's an Xbox Live game. I'll look it up and Dead something. Cool. But either way,
Dead Island.
Which one?
Dead Island.
No, not Dead Island.
Dead Island.
But almost similar. Just kind of the only thing where it was lacking that other player kind of threat. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it wasn't online, right? It
wasn't online. That was the only big flaw.
Well, since this seems to be like in a zombie mood, I finally caught up with Walking Dead.
Congratulations.
Oh.
8th episode, season 4, correct?
Right.
And it's not done.
It's not done.
That's cool. Well, you guys have been talking about it for a while, and actually, I after watching it, it does not push out my top 3.
No, it doesn't mine either.
Yeah, I thought it was very well written. I was surprised by a couple of the revelations. But overall, I figured out what my big thing with it is. It's a zombie show.
Well,
I know,
really?
I know zombie shows. Like, I think that's what, it's not when, like, Herschel dies.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
You know, it's a zombie apocalypse movie.
You're going to have people...
I assume everyone's going to die already, so I don't really feel sad for anybody.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed that when this thing eventually does come to an end, that it just goes completely nihilistic and everyone dies.
Yeah, right?
I don't really want a happy ending to this thing. I think it should just be nihilistic all the way.
Yeah, or just end it like this is the way it's going to happen. And I think that's what's bothering me about it. It's great. Game of Thrones, I like more than Walking Dead still, I guess, because it's just a whole different world. The whole zombie... Walking Dead's well written, but it doesn't...
There's no end game in sight.
Yeah, no end game. Not too much you can do new with zombie. The humans end up being the bigger monsters.
I think the 2 episodes.
Thing, you know?
I think the 2 episodes centered around the governor were really well done. I liked watching those.
Right.
You know, I needed a break from Rick's crew. I really did.
Yeah.
That whole Spanish fever thing that was going around, and and the only thing that really grabbed me was the whole thing with Carol.
Right.
That was the thing that I was really centered on.
Right.
And then when it took a break and went to the governor in those 2 episodes, I thought, okay, yeah, now I wanted to know what was up.
Yeah.
Now I know what's up, and now I know how this is going to end.
Right.
It's going to be ugly. And sure enough, it was.
Yeah.
And yes, and I was busted up over Herschel, but I knew that was coming.
Right.
The same way I kind of knew Andrea's death was coming.
And then kind of the way the comic did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comic, it was almost... In the comic, you replay... It was actually Tyrese that got beheaded instead of Herschel. Mm-hmm. Tyrese, the big, buff, black guy that's in this season. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one with the cap.
The one that wanted to find the killer of the girl that got burned.
Oh, but since they killed the other big black guy, they still need a big black guy for the TV show.
Oh, since they killed T-Dog?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, too, I've been noticing is that, like, when they kill off a character, they replace them with that same type of character. Like, the big black guy died, here's a new big black guy.
T-Dog hardly got any lines, but he went out like a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrese is a little more complex.
Tyrese he was a good character in the comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I hear he's kind of annoying.
I get what you mean, and that's kind of... I don't really put Walking... I don't know. Sometimes Walking Dead is my tops. Sometimes it's not. This season I didn't think it was. Last season I'd probably say it was.
Oh, yeah. It was really... When I saw season 3...
Just because the whole Daryl and his brother kind of storyline worked really good.
The Woodbury thing worked to a T.
Yeah.
A T.
I don't know. I was kind of... I want to see where this next half goes.
Yeah.
Because the next half I'm not familiar with. I didn't get the compendium for that. So this will be a new kind of thing for me.
Cool.
But I don't know. Walking Dead's it's one of those shows that, like you said, I don't see an end game in sight.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to end up hurting it, because I know the comic, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. Now you got to worry about the humans more.
Yeah.
How much more of that can you do before you get bored of it?
Especially when we've seen it for the last 20 years. Like not exactly,
but
not the same, but just the same.
Well, exactly. You're correct.
Or whatever.
20 years.
Yeah.
Romero has been doing that. The theme in most of Romero's movies, it's always the humans that are the ones that are. Yeah. Like, for instance, in Dawn of the humans are the zombies walking the wall. Mm-hmm. Land of the Dead, the humans are the ones you got to worry about, so... who knows how much more Walking Dead can really do, but...
Well, that's why the whole name Walking Dead is not really referencing the walkers. It's because their humans are dying, they're walking, and they're dying. Like, their humanity's dying, so they're the
clock is running out on them.
Yeah, and I think that's what's kind of frustrating me, because it's like... Everyone's just whining about... And I know that's
an old canard with the show.
Yeah, I know. But then it's like... There's conversations that I think are just there to fill time. Like when Herschel and Glenn was dying, we know their relationship. We've had 5 to 6 great scenes where they're like, you're like my son.
Right.
But then yet they keep doing it. Okay, we get it. These guys love each other and one of them is going to die.
Yeah.
But they keep, kind of like milking it, because they're in a situation where you can't really get too compassionate for them, In the Game of Thrones, it was like there was kids getting beheaded.
I don't know. I was compassionate for Rick when he lost his wife.
Well,
even though everyone hates Laurie, there was compassion there.
The main characters are good, but I'm saying like that supporting cast, and I guess that's what I made a comment about Boarding Empire. Stronger supporting characters.
I don't think so. I think Walking Dead has really good, strong supporting characters.
All the supporting characters I've seen before, and other. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like Boardwalk Empire does the gangster thing, but yet those. You can't say, like, this character is the same as, like, that character in Goodfellas or something like that.
Right.
All the characters you see in Walking Dead have kind of appeared in other zombie movies in the past. The older guy that, in the dad taking care of his kid. And I'm not just talking about George Romero. I'm talking about, like, all these, like, Netflix zombie movies.
The textbook sociopath who tries to run things.
The only thing that was cool... I think was Michonne. Her character was something original in
completely original.
Daryl too, and the brothers. See, like you said,
the brothers Dixon.
The stuff that you don't see in other zombie movies works out well, but the relationships that I've seen a lot of times,
the character of Rick works well.
He's good.
This is where I give Walking Dead more of a. I give them more credibility than a lot of the movies. Movies, you have a time frame.
Right.
So you have to they have to be well written in order for you to get with them.
Right.
The only zombie movie where I even felt that for any of the characters was the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, right.
That was the only one where I liked the characters.
Yeah.
The other ones, you don't really care too much. You just want to see their events.
Yeah.
Walking Dead, on the other hand, you like the characters.
Yeah.
You like Rick. You hate his wife, but then they did it so well that they made you hate her on purpose.
Yeah.
It worked. Daryl, if Daryl goes, that's going to be a sad thing.
Yeah.
If Herschel went, that was a sad thing.
It was.
Any of the main characters that go will have an impact on the show.
Right.
So it works on that level as a character level. But eventually it'll get tiresome.
Yeah. I think I'm already at that point, kind of, where, like, when they're doing those little sad discussions, I don't even care what they're talking about.
Right. I'm only waiting for how and when are they going to introduce Negan.
I don't even know who that is.
Soon.
They better not fuck that up.
Who's
That's
Negan?
But he's another one of the governor type characters.
He's worse.
Oh.
He's worse.
Okay, but that's the thing. Like, you can't keep introducing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem. The only reason why I like this second half, at least from the trailers, it seems like they've all split. So now it's Rick and his son. Mm-hmm. They're going to have their little solo venture. Daryl and one of Herschel's daughters. Michonne and whoever the fuck she'll probably be with Tyrese. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I like that they're splitting it up now. I like that you're not having the group dynamic anymore. I think you're going to get stronger bonds with the people, and then once they reunite, I think you're going to see those bonds still intact.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, because it's going to change it, because that's not really something that we've always seen the group trying to stay together. What I was going to say is, whenever I see a zombie movie, even though they all have their little differences, I kind of, maybe because it's been for so long, see them as just the same zombie apocalypse. I don't know if that's kind of crazy, like, because they're all the same kind of things. Maybe just that area had these fast zombies. You know, when I see it, there's just so many things similar in zombie. Same thing with vampire movies. You can just kind of say, oh, this is just another vampire story happening in another place. And I guess that's how I see zombie movies. They're all like in the same world where the zombies attack.
Alex mentioned the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Right.
We saw that in the theater.
Yes.
I saw that twice.
Now, I'm usually the one that says horror movie remakes are terrible. That's one of the few that works. The reason it works is because, I'm sorry, zombie purists, but the fact that they made them just athletic runners that would hunt you down relentlessly is what made that thing so much more frightening.
You know what else worked, though? The character development worked on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It worked so well. That's why fucking Zack Snyder will always have a place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean,
because he did such a good job with that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that opening attack, is one of those frightening things. It's up there with, the first time you see Jaws, and it really works that well.
Yeah.
So yes, the Dawn of the Dead remake, it made you more scared for them than the original. The original had a satirical mirror up to people.
Social commentary.
Like you just said.
It's been overdone now.
The remake tickled it, but didn't really go into which I liked.
No, the remake was more about the fear. Was more about the isolation of everything.
Yeah.
It really heightened the dread.
Now that you bring it up, that opening sequence, you're right. It actually took my breath. It took my
with
breath
that
away.
girl.
I remember. Yeah,
Holy shit!
It took my breath away. Yeah, I remember that.
And how fast that virus took effect. It was instantaneous.
And it has a lot to do with his film style and that scene. Just the way he made those movies, just like wow.
But then again, too, it's like I mean, and this is where Walking Dead kind of works in a sense. They've made it their own. Which I liked because that's what Zack Snyder did. Zack Snyder took the zombie franchise and okay. There are certain things I have to keep true to the continuity, but there's certain things I want to make my own. For instance, the fast zombies. The best thing, which for me is one of the subtle things not a lot of people noticed, but I noticed right away when I saw that movie. The progression of the zombies' decay. Mm-hmm. You don't see that in a lot of them.
Yeah.
For instance, a lot of them in the beginning are very humanistic.
Right.
Slowly as you go by, you see the colors start fading away from their skin. Pieces of flesh falling out. By them, they're just almost walking corpses at the end.
Right, and which is great. What I noticed, the opposite about Walking Dead, is because since people are dying now, they're all fresh. Yeah. Because people are just dying from that sickness. Like that was
an interesting thing Walking Dead did. There was two things that I found interesting. Which, the first one was the whole thing at the CDC. They're all... I mean, granted, we knew they were all dying to begin with, but now there's a reason if they die, boom, they're zombies. Yeah. That was one good thing that they did. They said, no matter what you do, you're fucked. The second thing was this whole zombie plague thing.
Yeah.
That was also an interesting little twist. But if you think about it in a context-wise, that makes complete sense.
That's why I said every zombie movie is kind of in the same world, because they're all sharing the same mythologies and stuff,
So, I mean...
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, and I don't think the baby's dead.
I hope the baby's dead.
I don't
what,
think it is,
What
though.
more can you do with her, though?
Huh?
What more can you do with a baby?
In the comic, sorry, spoilers. The comic, the baby's dead.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she
it
died,
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
she died at the prison.
Oh, so
Oh,
the
yeah?
TV
Okay.
show is still alive then.
You think so?
Yeah.
No. I think if they have any balls at all, they'll make sure
They
that
won't.
baby is dead.
They won't. No balls.
Now, see in the comic, like body dead. They seen a body or someone verified that they saw.
What
it.
ended up happening in the comic, Rick, his son, and Lori were leaving as the governor was attacking. The governor shoots at Rick's direction, hits Lori, kills the baby that's inside her.
Oh.
She hadn't given birth yet.
Then it's complete. Then the baby's alive in the TV show.
Probably.
What gave
More
me the
like-
hint is when that little girl said that, no, we can't run. We have to fight the two sisters.
Maggie and
daughters.
Beth. Maggie and Beth.
No, the little girls.
Oh, the ones
them.
Carol was taken care of, yeah, and then
Okay.
the baby was with them, and then they went off to get weapons. I think they took the baby with them somewhere.
Probably.
And then that's when they came back with the gun and like that. So I'm gonna start buying the graphic novels or download them or something because I'm pretty interested to see.
You'll
the
be
alternate.
you'll be better served when you start reading those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. The show, they can't do much more.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless the zombies start evolving and learning how to use simple tools.
Yeah.
that's the next step.
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
No, Land of the Dead.
Land's
See that
Day.
It was originally in Day.
Day of the Dead.
Oh, really?
They started
started
learning in Day, and then Land, they were fucking humans again.
Juggling and
Juggling
making
zombies.
spaghetti and
So I don't know. I mean, Romero shit's good, but I like a zombie show in the context of Walking Dead, just because you can feel more for the characters than you can.
Yeah.
But I don't want to rehash this, but yes, it will die out soon enough.
Yeah, and that's something interesting.
Same thing with
Yeah.
Boardwalk. You mean
Yeah.
you can only do so much with their stories until you need
especially because they're real people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so that's that.
is it Chad? Is it?
That's that. And I don't know.
Well, what I learned today was pretty much that Alex knows a lot about James Bond. I didn't
Very
think he was
good,
a
Alex.
That was a good documentary.
I want
You know, the funny thing was, I was watching. I was at work. I was isolating some blood, and one of the guys that service our machine comes in. He was talking. We were just talking, shooting the shit about movies, and he was like, "Dude, you gotta watch this fucking Bond documentary. It's so great." I'm like, "What is it?" And he told me. I think it's like 24 Bond or some bullshit. Saw it. It was fucking unbelievable. That movie has such a history. You never knew. I was pretty surprised by it.
Anything else good on Netflix?
I also saw Blackfish, I think it was.
I've heard that's good.
That's the documentary about the killer whales at SeaWorld.
Oh, wow, I've been wanting to see that. That's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh.
I don't know, like, I've heard a lot of people say that they don't want to support SeaWorld anymore. But then I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that.
What was the cruelty that's been going on? Right?
Well, because I guess through the whole movie, it's like they're kind of telling you these whales aren't just stupid animals.
We know
They
that.
have feelings,
Right.
they have emotions, and I guess their brain lobes are like 10 times bigger than a human's.
Right.
So they have supposedly more
Advanced
emotions.
intelligence and emotions,
So
right?
they have like a more range of emotions.
So far, things that these people should have learned in first grade.
Yep,
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I guess pretty much. Let me pretty much sum up what the movie is. It all started off. One of the female trainers was that her hand got ripped off and she got scalped by this killer whale called Killiman.
Oh.
Or Tillamon, excuse me.
Okay.
He's
Scalping.
one of their main male whales in SeaWorld.
Yeah.
He's the one that they pretty much Shamu is based off of.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of their huge whales. And the documentary kind of goes into this whale's history. Which I believe started off in Canada. It's like Sealand. I guess that was their
In what time?
Right.
on 1980 something.
Ah, see, okay.
And they had a report. So, anyways, and then they go into how they cruelly capture these whales. But I mean, everybody, you kind of know that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, so they go into that and how they split Killiman from his mom. But I guess because of the herds and Killiman was such a new whale, the whales that were at this park were already trained, so they were used to the commands. But they put Killiman in with these other two orcas. And because Killerman was new and he was starting to learn everything, they were saying the whales were abusing him. So, like, when they put him off in their pens, I guess the whales would bite Killerman, scratch him. They'd abuse him, which is interesting. It's kind of interesting to know that animals are doing that to each other.
Yeah.
So I guess they're saying he has this resentment, which, I mean, it's hard for me to believe, but, you know.
So you're saying animals have revenge?
Oh!
But anyway,
Call
so
back.
they go through his history, and even at that park, Killerman had killed a person. So there's been documentation of him killing people.
So pretty much he has like psychological issues.
That's what they're pretty much saying. He has psychological issues, and he's been known to attack trainers.
Act out.
So instead of wailing up and attacking the whales that are attacking him, he's taking it out on the humans.
Correct.
What a motherfucker.
How is this any different than a fucking like a dog kennel though? Or you know,
I feel sad for the situation. I don't know if I would generally stop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Going to SeaWorld, but I do feel bad for them in a sense. Don't get me wrong. A whale shouldn't be enclosed in this. They should be in a huge open ocean.
SeaWorld's an underwater zoo. I mean, again, if you have a problem with SeaWorld, then you have a problem with zoos. Because we do that to pandas. You know, they get freaked out. They don't even want to fuck anymore because we just straight out rip them from their fucking natural habitat.
Exactly.
They don't even want to fuck, dude. I mean, you rip me from here, and I'm down to fuck no matter what.
You know, as George Carlin once said years ago, the pandas are the zoo. Do you care if they fuck? I don't. I do. I have no emotional state in panda fucking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know.
Yeah, but I think that's absurd. If you didn't know that these animals go through some kind of abuse for your entertainment, then I think you're more ignorant than anything. But you're right. It is, I guess, shocking, but not to stop you from doing
it's shocking to hear, especially because SeaWorld has always had a good reputation, at least from my understanding.
Mine too.
I know, but there's reputation within common sense.
Exactly.
How do they get these big fucking massive things in the fucking water park? It's not a pretty thing.
That's like refusal to eat meat because they butcher the cows. You know, like the vegetarians. You see how they
holy fucking Christ.
That's exactly right. Or if like you're born and then you're born a vegetarian, but like if you find out, if you're 30 and you're like, did you know that what they do to the pigs? Like, motherfucker, you're 30 now. You didn't know that they fucking murderized the pigs when you were 12?
What led you to believe that the way you get your meat was in any way pleasant to the animal?
The same people, I guess, that think that the animals that
But there is a difference. We're not eating whales, people.
No, whale. I've seen the documentary. Have you seen the documentary, The Cove?
Probably. I've seen so many.
The whole fact that whale as a delicacy is a major, major turnoff to me. I mean, the fact that they would kill, it's a high end thing.
Japan refuses to stop whaling.
Yeah, that's Japan. Japan have always fucked over fish.
Fuck are you, dolphin?
And fuck are you, whale? Exactly.
That was probably one of the best South Park fucking episodes.
Oh God, no kidding. I'm a pirate.
The fucking whale, the dolphin who nuked him with the fucking Hiroshima.
Since we're talking about whales and animal rights and all this other shit, and what how people are still shocked about how meat is made, and then have the nerve to get all outraged over it in their adult years.
Right.
Can I just get into another douchebag?
Sure, go ahead.
Morrisey. We all know him. We all either love to love him or love to hate the guy.
Morrisey.
What was the thing you used to do? Remember? What song was that?
Oh,
I forgot what it was.
He actually did a Morrisey jig. Girlfriend? No, I don't remember.
Well,
that's one of his gay songs.
Morrisey is
international playboy.
Yeah.
Fucking do that, dude.
Do it.
I can do it.
It's like you do it. It's like Chunk doing the truffle shuffle. Only it's sadder.
All right, well, what about him?
Morrisey is a well-known animal activist. He's a well-known advocate of not eating meat. Hence, titling a song and album by the Smiths, "Meat is Murder."
Right.
And he has said outlandish shit before.
Right.
He has, said things like the best people in the world are vegetarians, everyone else can go to hell, wanting nothing to do with anyone who's even remotely a carnivore. Like he'll refuse to work or talk or anything like that. He once played Staples Center last year, and once famously got most of Staples Center to not sell meat at the venue.
Wow.
But even going so far as to one-up Paul McCartney, who's also a vegetarian animal activist, by saying, well, you know what, he was a pussy. I went all the way. He only went part way. Morrisey has really just fucking stuck his foot in his mouth and his head up his ass all at once. That's an impossible feat. Because now he's equating meat eaters with being pedophilia, with pedophilia now.
Right.
You know, you eat a burger, you touch kids. To him, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, let that sink in. I don't care how much the thought of eating animals turns you off. How do you jump from one conclusion to the next? What in your mind puts you in that direction?
Ego, and he just wants, like, the same thing. Why even bring up the Paul? Like, he just wants to show that he's the bigger.
He's not even equal to Paul McCartney in any sense of the means.
Check this out. What threw our credibility out the window with Morrisey is, I don't know if you know about this. It's a topic that I wanted to bring up previously, but didn't feel it was strong enough. But here it is. His book was released in UK a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. Big couple pages about his gay relationships with a male.
Right.
Of course, right?
He's outed somebody.
Right? No, well, himself, because he's never really been out. He's always been what?
He's been out for years now before
I think
his
everybody
book.
knew, but I don't think he made it public.
No, he hasn't been out publicly.
Right.
It's removed in the American edition of the book.
Why?
Huh?
Because we don't... think of the fans he has here right now. A lot
Most
of
them are gay anyways.
But he
A
has
lot of them are Latin.
He has a big
Gay
Latino
girls.
rebel, like the greaser guy
Right.
look. Like those motorcycle guys. Would I think they're gay, but
that is true.
they're not. But those guys, you know, with the greaser hair.
Jesse
the
Medina.
Dude, I saw this like motorcycle guy who was like, it said he had a jacket like pledged to be in one of those biker crews or whatever. Yeah, and right there, fucking Morrissey's face on his fucking shoulder, and I was like, with International Playboy, and that, and I'm like, okay, man, but exactly that's why, because then it's like, them, you know how American audiences are with the whole homosexuality thing.
What a fucking...
This is, so it doesn't have to
Excuse
say
the language. What a fag.
Yeah, what a fag. You suck meat and you don't want to talk about eating it. That's why, you see, he's just a fucking
And can we also describe, you know, the hypocrisy?
Take the dick out of your mouth, you meat eater.
You know, it's
You fucking talk about animals dying, but you fucking kill children all the time you swallow.
What about all those poor gophers that died in your ass, dude?
And you know, even if that weren't the case, the motherfucker wears leather.
So
So-
everything this is fucking pretentious about the guy, man. Even to just say that I'm like asexual, I don't find anything attractive, and it's like, dude,
You know
get
what
the
I've always
fuck
been...
outta here.
I mean, I don't want to say turned on or turned off by. But you know what always like deterred me from Morrissey? Yeah, he's had some interesting songs.
Yeah.
And I made fun of a couple of them. But, like, just him not even showing up to his gigs on time...
Yeah.
Just so fucking irresponsible. You know, fuck you, Morrissey. Who do you think you are?
I stopped going to diva shows because of that.
I neglected to mention also in that Staples Center performance where he famously got them to not sell meat products. During the song "Meat Is Murder," he actually gave a PowerPoint presentation in the middle of the session, in the middle of the song, about the cruelty of
That's his agenda.
animal
That's his
farming and
agenda.
everything.
Yeah.
This guy's gone way off the deep end.
Can't write any good songs, so he has to...
I can't remember the last time I even partially liked an album of his.
the last song I remember I liked from him was that one, The More You Ignore Me.
That was a long time ago. That was like the early 90s.
That's the last thing I even remember. Did anything else come up from him?
Oh yeah, there's been several things that have come out, but you know, all of them are hit or miss. Just like anything else Morrissey has done
You
throughout his
know,
career,
stay in the
solo
closet,
career,
yeah.
his solo
This
career.
brings me to these whole vegan fucking assholes. They just fucking piss me off. It's like, you know, don't get me wrong, I understand you feel sympathy for the animal. That's fine. I completely get it. But you're fucking condemning other people because they want to fucking eat meat? It's fucking stupid. It's like these religious people that, you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to fucking hell, or they're preaching their values on you. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's in nature to eat meat. Other animals eat meat. You know, yes, don't get me wrong, we can advance as a society and eat fucking fungus all we want. But we are carnivores.
Thank you.
That's what we were. That's what we do. That's why, if you look at it even from a scientific aspect, the reason certain animals have their teeth structures because they're meat eaters.
Right.
Same thing with
That
humans.
wasn't meant for just fruit. That was meant for
Fuck you,
meat.
Morrisey. You fucking PETA bastards.
Doesn't he live here in L.A.?
No,
he does.
I think
Hollywood?
that famous house he used to have in Hollywood. I think he sold that. I think he lives in England now, or not in England. I think he lives in Europe. Actually,
Good, he's a commie bastard.
You know, I want to get my hands on this book though, the UK version of it.
Just download it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I do want to read this.
You want to study those couple pages really in depth.
Well, I mean, I want to know what was so controversial about it that they blocked it here.
He mentions his relationship with a guy that he was in love with. Not the guy. From
I know that he has a major Latino following, and most of East Los Angeles loves this guy.
How stupid do you have to be to realize
even in your machismo, heavily Catholic world, how do you miss that this guy was clearly gay? How do you miss it?
Never came out.
How deep in the denial are you? You're more deep in denial about his sexuality than he is about his own sexuality.
It's just funny because I was watching FX had a little trial thing you could watch, Chosen. It's this animated show about this rapper that ends up getting framed and going to jail. But the whole thing is he was straight before he went to jail, but now he ends up going to jail. He ends up getting butt fucked by all these guys. So when he comes out to get his revenge, he's like this straight gay rapper. It's fucking hilarious.
Straight gay rapper. When does this come out?
It come out this week.
It's coming out. It's coming. Archer comes back this Monday.
All right, cool.
It's gonna follow Archer.
Oh, and
that was pretty funny.
I was reading a thing about Archer where I guess the writers are not doing the spy theme anymore.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, but
they just got bored of it. They said they got bored of it.
I think they're shooting this show in the foot.
Yeah, I was reading a pretty good thing on Reddit where some people were for it and some people were just against it, just saying, but that's what you want. That's what Archer's for. I mean, if you're tired of writing Archer episodes, cancel Archer.
Yeah.
You know, why are you, just milking the characters, I guess.
Well, but you know what? That's what they did. I mean,
every show does that, right?
Aqua Teen is kind of...
Yeah, every show does that.
But,
No, Aqua Teen started like that, though, because, the intro was like, that's a superhero cartoon.
Right.
Never went off completely.
Yeah.
No, the first two episodes were...
they were detectives.
Yeah. Bus of the Undead.
Speaking of Reddit, though, I fucking saw... Yeah. It's fucking... And the only reason I found out about it was I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast, and he mentioned it. He saw it on Reddit. This guy has 2 fucking penises.
Oh, the picture, yeah.
I saw that photo.
That?
I saw that.
I didn't look at it.
Oh my god! It's like in the shape of a boomerang.
He did an AMA, which is an IMA, which pretty much they interviewed
Ask Me Anything.
Ask Me Anything, yeah.
They pretty much asked them every single question you could think of.
Yeah.
That was just fucking interesting as hell. I'm like, wow. But I guess this guy is claiming he's gotten women off. Women are turned on by it. I guess he likes men and women. So I guess it's worked on
one
both.
for each.
Yeah, I guess so.
One for each.
One for you.
He's considered porn, but he just doesn't want to be. He doesn't want his face known. He doesn't want anybody to know that.
Put him in a fucking mask. I don't care.
Just want to
funny
see 2
shit.
dicks.
Yeah, this guy with 2 dicks. Fucking crazy shit.
Which one pees?
They both pee. That was interesting. He has to pee simultaneously off both dicks.
So basically, he has to double fist it and just aim for a toilet.
He has to hold it together and he has to pee in a toilet.
Good to know.
I guess from what he was saying, that I guess because of his prostate or whatever, he at least has to get off once a week. Because other than that, it'll start leaking and shit or some bullshit.
Oh.
It's pretty fucking crazy. It was interesting as hell to read.
Oh.
Now, before the show, we asked everyone, anything interesting to talk about in your week? And Alex said no.
Well, I didn't.
And now here he is with a double dick dude. And I was like, what?
I didn't know that was...
Even the Morrisey thing.
I never really thought
Morrisey
about
and double dicks. We got to start every show about Morrisey and double dicks.
And double dicks.
Please.
So we really have to hope that Morrisey gets attacked by the double dick man.
What is Morrisey's opinion on the double
getting
dick?
dick slapped by him. Boom, boom, boom.
Every time he says something stupid about meat eaters, just double dick slap.
It's definitely
Just one after the other,
I
just
recommend people read on Reddit because that was so fucking interesting.
Because even, if you have, a hard-on, and you have 2 hard-ons, you just can't get out.
That's hell.
You have to tuck both of them, double tuck. Under the belt.
You have to put one under the belt and one through the pant leg.
Split it.
Split it.
Oh, you would have them clap, hold them apart, and then
Yeah. Ladies.
I can clap my dicks.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Make it clap.
I think he's probably the
got a
only guy that can fucking put one in the butt, one in the ass.
One in the butt, one in the ass.
I mean, well, one in the butt, one in the ass.
One in the pink, one in the
Do you
stink.
know how it works? Alex?
It works.
One in the
in the
pink,
butt.
one in the
Yeah,
stink.
he's the only guy that can probably do that.
We had anal sex in the butt.
Yes, in
No,
the
in
butt.
the butt?
What?
But see, that's why I didn't want to go there because I don't know much more than what.
That was perfect. Those are the little smaller
No.
topics to start off with.
Whatever
That
your
was
name is, guy, do porn.
Yeah.
Dude, you will
He
make
says he does not want to.
so much fucking money.
But every single question you can think of, they've asked him. It's just kind of interesting how that I never knew Reddit really had kind of that kind of thing. I'm fucking hooked to Reddit.
Oh, there's a ton of things. Another one is Today I Learned, TIL. Like, people post, like, things they learned. Like, today I learned Jerry Seinfeld, blah, 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 blah. Like, little
that was
templates
another thing
there,
posted on Reddit.
What?
He's supposed to be doing a really big project with Larry David.
Oh, right. He mentioned it there. That they're working on something. He can't talk about it right now. Yeah.
It'll be good. Those two involved, it will be good.
Well, hopefully we hear more about it soon so we could talk about it in the next podcast.
I hope so.
Well, for Joseph, Chad, Alex, and Raymond, good night. May the Schwartz be with you. And talk to you next time.
Peace, bitches.
Later.
Later.